What's going on, everybody? My name is Che. This is No Spoon Podcast. That's with these sounds real quick. That sound like that. I don't like that. Get some people into the chat. Let's see what we got going on here. I don't know what's going on. Okay, we're good. What's up? What's up? Just adjusting everything. My name is Che. This is the No Spoon Podcast. You're tapped into the live stream on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done so. Do that now. Let's see if we could get some people in here and get the comments going. Let's get it going. We don't have time today. We ain't playing around here. It's a No Spoon Podcast. What's going on? My name is Che. This is a No Spoon Podcast. Thank you guys for joining in. Those that are watching the replay, appreciate that as well. Also, those that are listening to the audio over there on Apple, Spotify, all the different places that I put this up at, we really appreciate it. If you've not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do so now. Also, don't forget to like, comment, share, and if you're listening to the audio on Apple, Spotify, give us a 5-star review and also leave a comment, man. That also helps as well. But this is a No Spoon Podcast. My name is Che. I'm the host. We talk about culture, politics, and common sense. We got a dope show for you today. I'm about to bring our guest in here in a minute. She is a YouTuber just like me. She is the host of the Side Effect Podcast. I was just on there yesterday, so that'll be dropping soon. So check that out. But we had a really, really good conversation. We're gonna have some really good conversation here today. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. But I'm gonna welcome to the show, Jalisa Danielle.
Hi.
What's up? What's up, Jalisa?
Okay, so I already told you I don't like live streams, but I'm doing this for you because you did my podcast yesterday.
Oh no, it's nothing. It's nothing. It's nothing. So tell people about yourself. What do you do? What do you got coming up? What have you been doing? What's the deal?
Well, I used to say I'm a teacher, but I'm not a teacher anymore because I quit. I quit and I could not go to the end of the school year. So now I am doing YouTube and content creating. I had already been doing my podcast for about 2 years now, but I'm just gonna do that full time. We're on a wing and a prayer that I'm not gonna say it is going to take off because this is all I'm doing. So I got to make it work.
Man, hey, when you got it, like they say, what does Sun Tzu say? You burn the ships.
Yep.
So when you get to the island, burn the ships. Ain't no turning back. It's either win or die. So I love it.
That's it.
But yeah. So you got the Side Effect Podcast. We did that yesterday. Had a lot of guests on there. So what do you think about just the state of the world before we get into our topics today? What do you think about the state of the world and where are we going?
Okay, so I think it's insanity every time. Well, every time I open up my phone. So when I open up my phone, I feel like I'm just like jumping into like a whole nother world. And we know that's like the metaverse, whatever you want to call it. And it looks chaotic. But then when you look, see, I told you the lights are going to go off. But then whenever you, this is what happens whenever you're trying to borrow, the conference room in the apartments. And then when you look up into the real world, it's like, doesn't seem like that. So I battle the two. Like, is it insane out here or is it not? And they just like make it look like that.
Twitter, Instagram, social media world, the real world, they're not the same thing. You know what I mean? And it's crazy because all the crazy stuff that you see online on social media, when you get around like regular people, they all agree with you. But it seems like
Mhm.
everybody on social media disagrees with everything that you do.
Oh, yeah, and I think I saw a video about, like, they had bots, like, a whole, like, bot factory of one person controlling all of these different Twitter accounts, and they had all these phones connected to each other, so I think they're just being set up to, like, make it seem like everyone disagrees, but they really don't, because people have common
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah. No, you know what they call them bot farms. I
Mhm,
guess you can like purchase like, thousands and thousands of accounts, and you comment, you leave all these different, comments, and it's like, oh, that's how people think. And in reality, it's just one person trying to change the narrative,
mhm.
which is crazy how they can do and sway propaganda. You
And
know
I
what I
think you
mean?
can tell from, like, usernames, they have all these numbers, and they're really weird accounts, they just got made.
Yeah.
I mean, there you have to really look at them because I see people going back and forth with these accounts, and I'm like, "I don't think that's a real person."
I-
I mean, like, it's a
Yeah.
real it's, like, real but not real, like, at the same time, just I don't give into it.
Yeah, it's not real,
Mhm,
but it's real. It's what a
mhm,
person wants you to believe. And so
mhm,
I see it a lot. Like I see it mostly on I haven't been on TikTok too long. I started getting on TikTok like maybe like a month ago or so.
mhm.
And it's like you see a lot of that. It'd be like user 5721396
Mhm.
four, and I'm like, who is this? And it's like no profile,
Yeah.
no followers, nothing. And you're like, oh,
Mm. People fall for it, though, so
yeah, I'm not going back and forth with somebody like that. Well, that's interesting because that kind of brings us to our first story. Um, this week it was the big story was that former President Trump was supposed to be arrested on Tuesday. That didn't happen, obviously. But one of the things that what I really wanted to talk about was these, and I'm gonna put these up real quick and see if people. Let's see
I
these
s
pictures right here.
I saw him and said, "They got my boy Donnie." Look at that
I
agility.
mean, yeah, yeah, for real. I mean, look at that. That's this one,
Joe Biden
and
could never.
no,
He'd
I
fall off his bike.
I wouldn't know. I don't think he would know what's going on. You know. Let's see. Let's take this one off. Let's sort the other one.
I saw a statement that Trump put out that said he did Joe Biden doesn't even know he's alive.
I saw that. Yeah, he did say that.
Oh, what's wrong with this man?
But you know what's crazy is these are AI. They're
Mhm,
what is it? Artificial intelligence generated.
mhm,
And
mhm.
so, but they were going like crazy on Twitter. I was seeing everybody posting this stuff, and it was like, you know, you got a lot of people that they just get their information from the shade room. I call them like shade room
Oh my
people.
gosh, Shade Room needs to like somebody needs to delete their account. They're the worst. They're literally the worst.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And it's like, I think I got one more. Where's this other one?
I did see those though, and I did, I mean, for me, as somebody who, like, looks at stuff all
This
the
one.
time, you can tell that it's not real. But some people did think it was real. Thousands of shares, hundreds of thousands of likes. Like,
Yeah, this
y'all know y'all woulda saw a video. Like, come on now.
right. I mean, but I mean, you look at these, they look real.
Yeah, they do look real. I mean,
They
like, they look if you look really fast. To me, I'm, like, looking at, like, because I know that like, a lot of the AI generator things, like, they can't perfect the hands yet. So you gotta look at the hands to see if the fingers are formed correctly, but I think they are getting pretty good at it.
I'm looking at it right quick. Yeah, they're getting better. But
Yeah,
I think the problem is that people, a lot of people they don't look into this stuff. So they're just
yeah.
scrolling and they see it and they go, "Oh, he got arrested." You know what I
Right.
mean? "Oh, he ran." I mean, you got people that believe that he tried to overthrow the whole United States government on January 6th. So if there are people that believe that,
Yeah.
why wouldn't they believe that he was literally on a high-speed chase?
I'm like, "Y'all, come on now." First of all, there is no video, and to me, I just I think outside of the box what they tell us, but you don't think it's just a giant spectacle? Do you really think at all the people who've done all these things in the world that they're gonna really arrest him. They just do a lot of talking.
Yeah. Well, he's not even what's crazy to me is that he's not even supposedly being indicted for anything that had to do with him his presidency. So all the crazy stuff they said that Trump should be in jail for January 6th, he should be in jail for lying, he should be in jail
Mhm,
for this. But this had nothing to do with it. This was about hush money to Stormy Daniels,
uh-huh,
the porn star that I guess I from what I understand, it was that they tried to claim it as being a campaign for campaign funds, and that's
mhm,
really all it is. Like
yeah,
this is this isn't no collusion. This isn't no espionage. This isn't no like overthrowing the government. This is about just some hush money that they're
yeah,
trying to make it seem like. So it's
and
crazy.
I did see that also there's this other lady who was accusing him of rape in a dressing room at a clothing store in, like, the '90s. I don't know how old she is now, but obviously that was a long time ago, but she's just now bringing that up and suing him for that. I'm like,
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, that's gonna make me start talking about the Me Too movement and all that. Mm-mm,
well,
no, I'm
I
not.
mean, so
So
you're not a fan of the Me Too?
I am not a fan of the Me Too movement because I've just seen way too many stories of women. Like, I know things happen. I'm not like oblivious to all that.
Hmm.
But there are a lot of women who know that they can get some kind of gain if they lie about a situation. And women exaggerate, very emotional. So a lot of these stories are exaggerated. You see stories about men who go to jail for being falsely accused of things, who lose out on scholarships, who, I mean, just lose everything. And then the woman's like, whoops, my bad, sorry. It's the heat of the moment. Like, how do you not feel bad? How do you not feel bad about lying like that?
Well, you know what? I think it also has to do with just the climate of things. And for example, a lot of times I think the women I think it's a regret thing.
Hmm.
So they sleep with the man, they regret it later, or he, ghosts them or something like that. And
Hmm.
it's like, oh, you know what? Now they go back and they think back and they say, did I really want to do that?
Hmm.
And the climate, like I said, the climate, when I say the climate, like the social climate kind of pushes women to say, well, did he really have a right to do this? Did you really was this something that you really wanted to do? And they just kind of run with it. And to me, that's what's so dangerous is
Hmm.
that it's not so much that, you know, they do it maliciously. I think they do it because they actually think that something happened that didn't happen,
Hmm.
you know.
Yeah. So I'm not for it. I'm not going to go protest. I'm not going to go march. I'm not going to make a post, a hashtag, nothing like that. So, oh, look at that.
Yeah,
You
Julian
are
has
you are correct. He did have it. And so that's something that people do not like you say, they don't look closely at things. And so I saw one guy post it and he had like thousands of likes and stuff. And then underneath did another tweet and was like, "Oh, I know it's fake." And I'm like thinking, "You didn't know it was fake. You probably thought it was real, didn't catch on, but because it had so much traction on it, now you don't want to delete it." So,
because they
oh,
did what you wanted it to do, get
yeah,
attention.
yeah. And then there's like, "Oh, yeah. Oh, I already knew that." And I'm like, "No, you didn't."
Well, that also like we see the thing. I don't know if you saw it. Like there was I don't and I'm not I know nothing about like the Twitch world and these gamers that be live streaming and everything. But from what I understand, this was like a month ago. There was like a streamer. I don't know what you call them, right?
Mhm.
But they, I guess it was a girl, and somebody had made a deep fake video
Oh
of
my gosh.
her
You can keep going. I'm just gonna
of
keep
her,
going.
like, doing porn or something like that,
Mhm.
and I guess she was crying on there, but the thing is, like, we're getting so advanced with this, being able to make deep fakes. I
Mhm.
mean, how do we know, like, those images of Trump, anything that we see nowadays, how do we know that it's real? How do we know that it's true?
It's hard to tell, a lot of times, like, again, I look at stuff all the time, and because I'm, like, such a, like, a little nitpicker, I could see it, but the average eye, for those of us who are on video and stuff, we see those kind of things, but the average everyday person who doesn't look at social media like that, they're just gonna see that probably like my mom, you know? She's gonna look at it. I'm surprised she hasn't sent me a photo that was like, "Did you see Trump got arrested?" Like, but there's a company called Pantheon Labs that had a video of it looked like a commercial, like a fitness commercial. It was an Asian girl. I mean, it looks so real. Like she's running, she's doing like a photo shoot, all that kind of stuff. And then you look and you read, and it's like she's not even real. But it looks like a whole commercial of like an actual person, not like a little cartoon or whatever, but like a real person. And I was like, how crazy and how manipulative is this? Because, they could do that with anyone. With any voice, Microsoft can mimic your voice. It just need like about 3-second sample of it and can make you say whatever. They were doing, I don't know if you saw, they were doing
Mhm.
AI covers, using Kanye's voice, but was covering like Drake songs and stuff like that. But it sounded just like him. How the heck did
Well,
they do that?
yeah, but that's the problem. The problem is that we're getting to this. My camera's getting real choppy for some reason.
Mhm,
But I'm gonna have to do something real quick here. Uh, but the problem is we can keep talking. If you
mhm.
see me disconnect, I'll be there. But the problem is that how do we know going forward that things are going to be what they say that they are? You know what I'm saying? So like
Yeah.
I can be shown anything. I can be shown anything anywhere. And I'm
Mhm,
just like, that's reality. We already know that people live inside this social media reality, like we just were talking about it, but it can also get so real
mhm.
to where you don't even think that anything is real. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Or the things or your whole life is manufactured.
That's how I feel all the time. I'm like, I can't tell if this is real or not. So I just prefer to think it's fake. Unless I see it with my own two eyes and touch it with my hands, like it's hard for me to say, "Oh, that's real, that's not real," because I wasn't there. And that's what my argument is a lot of times with people. It's like, "Were you there? If you weren't there, then how do you know?" So, I don't know. I just know that, the average person doesn't really have, like, the highest IQ, so it would be easy to manipulate these people to believing anything, literally anything. I think you're muted. I can't hear you. Oh, okay.
There we go.
Mhm.
No, you know what, the whole time, like my camera was operating off Wi-Fi, and I have a cord, and I just didn't realize that it was.
Mhm.
But anyways, yeah, it's just manufactured reality, manufactured a false sense of reality. You can put anything on the internet. People think that what we just talked about earlier with the bot farms, with
Mhm.
different videos, pictures. It's like, how do we even know that Joe Biden is alive? How do we even know that Washington D.C. is still around? Like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, I mean, there's so much technology out there that
Mhm.
it really is getting dangerous. I don't think
Yeah.
we understand that.
And it's okay, like, it's kind of cool, but at the same time, like, what happens to, like, artists and creatives and people who, shoot music videos and whatnot? Like, all you gotta do is just get on the computer, type in whatever. The somebody I know who's, helping me out with my podcast, like, said, like, all you gotta do is type in, "I want a background like this with this and this," and boom, there it goes. Like, what happens to the creative mind? Do you even need it anymore? Do you need
No.
Well, I mean, you do need somebody to type that in, but,
Yeah.
do you really need somebody to spend time and actually put, like, their own real artistic, talents on things, or is the computer gonna do it all for you?
And then at what point do we just start giving everything to the computers and everything to the AI and everything to the machines? It's like
Mhm.
we're really going into the matrix.
Yeah.
I mean
So,
that
that's why I keep my Android. This is a very old Android that I'm like, I can't get rid of it because I don't know. I don't know why. This is like
And
gonna
she
be
got
old school technology.
she got the green text, y'all.
Yeah.
She got the green text.
It's okay. It's okay. Hmm.
Man. Well, you know what? This takes us to another story, which is going on out here in LA. I'm gonna play this clip real quick because, well,
Oh,
here let me just say this. So the teachers are striking, and you're a teacher, so or you were a teacher.
it
So
was.
yeah, I wanna.
I I'm gonna join them though, because what are we talking about? I'm gonna join y'all, whatever it is. I'm gonna support.
So you're supporting the teacher strike?
I'm supporting it. I mean, I do know what it's about, but it's not for the teachers. I do know it's for the custodial staff, the just anyone else who's not an actual teacher. They want like a raise, a pay raise, because they make
Oh,
nothing.
okay.
They literally make nothing.
Yeah.
They make, from what I read and heard, an average of like 25,000 a year in LA. That's insane. That's like poverty. That's below poverty. Isn't that like
Yeah, you can't live
oh,
off 20,000 a year. That's not even $2,000 a month.
and
I don't
that's
even know if you can rent a place for 2,000 less than 2,000 right now.
yeah, that's so crazy. And like to think that these people willingly work these jobs. So you're already, I mean, you're working at a school, you're working those 8 hours. So that's 8 hours of your time gone. And you know, you probably maybe got a second job. So what are you working for?
You have to have a
Working,
second job. Like I
yeah.
said, that won't even cover your rent out here.
So it's like you're spending every day, all day at a job. Like that's not what life is about, which is why I quit. Life is not about slaving away all day and you come home and you have what, 2, 3 hours to yourself? Maybe, maybe.
Right. Yeah. You ain't lying.
25. 25. I don't, as an adult, because I was watching a news clip of one of the I don't know if she was custodial staff or what, but she was like, yeah, make 25,000 and vote. I'm like, as an adult making 25,000, I don't even know I don't even like buy things like that, but even to just want to eat at a restaurant or something, or to do the little things in life, that's nothing.
That's not you're not gonna make it.
You're
You have
not.
you have to have some type of side hustle, something. You better be I don't know what you're gonna do, but 25,000 out here in LA is not gonna make it.
Yeah.
But I saw them the other day. They was out there picketing, and then it started raining really hard, and then they went in. But yeah.
Like,
But I
all
want to show
right.
this. I want to show this clip real quick because it's not a real strike unless it comes with TikTok dancing.
Uh-oh. Oh no. Okay, I don't take it seriously.
Woo! You're fine.
UTLA!
Gathering my thoughts right now. All right, so this is like the dancing nurses. I don't take it seriously anymore. Like you can't TikTok your way to justice. I'm sorry. You can't TikTok your way to like people taking you serious. Just like dude was running for governor here. Like he TikToking with teens trying to get votes. Like that doesn't
Who was
work.
that? Who was
Beto
who? Oh,
O'Rourke.
Beto. Oh yeah, that's
Oh my
right.
gosh, he gets on my nerves every time.
Beto the beta.
Beta. Like he was just like, oh, I'm so cool. Like I'm gonna do this TikTok dance. Like you look stupid. You look stupid, and that's what. And I saw. I don't know if you saw the clip of whoever, some congressman said, well, they don't want to ban TikTok because Republicans want to ban TikTok because they don't have swag. That's the word he used.
Oh, that was Jamal Bowman.
And I was
Yeah, I
like,
saw that.
did you just say that's so cringy, first of all? And so in my head, I'm like, I don't ever see Republican doing TikToks and like weird like videos and stuff to get attention. It's very like more serious unless I'm missing something. But the other party, they're the only ones who do stuff like that. I'm like, why do you think this works? And who are
But
you
but
targeting?
but here's the thing. Does it work?
It gets attention.
Yeah, I mean, because you look at like AOC. AOC, she does the lot. She does the live streams all the time.
Yeah, she's the worst too.
Yeah, but she connects with. How can I say this? Oh, let me say. Let me listen. A lot of the people that are voting for these people are weirdos,
Mm-hmm.
and they connect because they're weirdos themselves.
Yes.
There was a point in time. There was a point in time. I'm 39 years old. So when I was growing up, these people would have been bullied severely and they
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't have had a say so. I'm just being honest. Like they
Yeah.
wouldn't have had a voice. Nobody, we would have been like, go over there and be on goofy time. Well, we over here really, really, we the ones. You guys, I don't know what you're talking about. But it's like I always say this, everything that has happened, it's the revenge of the nerds.
Yeah. I think what worked for them is that they're so like emotional. And so like we were talking about yesterday, like do you have to be such a whiny, cry, tattle? Do you have to do all that to get attention? And it works because I think people mostly operate on emotions. Whether you're male or
Oh
female,
yeah.
like a lot of people operate more on emotions. So I think that's where they win. That's why they use those words and those racism and all that kind of stuff so that you can tug at the heartstrings, you know. But
Well,
to me, it doesn't work.
since we're on the topic of teachers, what happened? We weren't. What's the story?
With me and why
Yeah,
I quit.
yeah.
Like, I feel like I told this story like 1,000 times, but y'all don't know. So, long story short, I mean, I've been doing this since 2009.
Hmm.
So,
What grade did you teach, by the way?
I
First
was
of
in
all.
high school.
Oh, high school.
So
Okay.
I did high school for since 2014, but I was subbing, and then I did a year of like fifth grade, a year of kindergarten, and a year of middle school, something like that. I don't know. It's
Hmm.
been so long, um, and it was okay. I mean, prior to me really, really awakening, but this last like during COVID and stuff, that was whenever I was like, yeah, no, this is stupid. Everything was just getting very political. And then you realize like all these schools are just more of like political institutions and pushing like agendas. And the only reason why they have these certain rules is because this person's in charge and they're all friends. And, it got to a point to where I was like, what are we really teaching these kids? If,
Hmm.
you're silencing people, if you are forcing them to do things they don't want to do, um, making them be quiet if they speak up on things. So I was very outspoken. I got in a lot of trouble, and getting called into the office like what seemed like I still have my write-ups. Like I have my write-ups as like memories. So I can like put them in a frame, like, yo, this was a time in history. And I'm gonna tell
Mm.
you why. It says did not wear mask, blah blah blah, whatever. I mean, it got like ridiculous. And I'm somebody I don't like to be micromanaged, so don't look in my classroom window and then give me a write up that says at 152 you weren't wearing a mask. Like
Oh man, and
it
and
was,
that's in
yeah,
Texas.
yeah, it was so bad because our district was like one of the last ones to let that mandate go. Even though the governor said schools cannot force. And so that's the part where I started to speak out a lot because it's like if you say, okay, schools can't force, and then the school district's like, well, we're going to do it anyways. So I would give the analogy to the students and say, okay, well, if mom says yes and dad says no, who do you listen to? If
Hmm.
one, or if your parents say yes and your teacher says no, or vice versa, which one do you listen to? Like, how are you telling kids to like not listen to, I guess, like a higher authority, um, whenever it comes to like government and stuff, and then thinking like the school takes like precedence over our governor? Um,
So the state was saying you didn't have to enforce the masks. You didn't
Mhm.
have to do that, but the school district
Was
said
like,
that
yeah,
they
yeah, yeah, we don't hear you.
wow,
Yeah,
and
so it was crazy.
they wrote you up for that.
They wrote me up because I wouldn't wear a mask, and I told the kids, I was like, "I'm not doing this anymore, and I need y'all to see whatever happens to me, if I lose my job, whatever, Imma go down a winner because I don't cave to no mob. I don't apologize if I know that I'm standing on something that I believe in." So, it was worth it, and people would tell me, "Oh, you're gonna lose your job for a mask?" I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, I would. I can go do something else. I have a I know a lot of people, so I can figure it out." But I refuse to, like, do things that are stupid.
We didn't have these type of teachers when I was growing up. Like,
I'm like, "Oh,
I'm like,
I'm not about to live in a society with a bunch of weak kids. What in the world?
that's
What are you
great,
teaching me?"
yeah. But what about like the curriculum? Was there any issue with the curriculum? I know that nowadays everybody talks about the CRT thing and the
Mm,
LGBT thing, and was that all? Did you see any of that?
not so much in the curriculum. It was more like I taught history, and
Hmm.
then I kind of started to, after I would see a lot of stuff that was coming out on the news and stuff that being manipulated. I also taught journalism. So, teaching them about the lies that, they tell, and it was just hard for me to teach something that I was like, I don't believe in this stuff anymore. So, there's that, but then there was just I guess the kids who were, I would call them indoctrinated by the media, and then coming to school and bringing those ideas, and then trying to force teachers or whatever to accept whatever. I've had kids saying, "Oh, you call me this. I'm a they. I'm a them." Like, I'm not. I was like, "No,
Really?
I'm not doing that." And I've told 'em, I'm not doing that. So I don't know what you're gonna do about it. Go tell someone. I don't know, but I'm not calling you a they.
See, this is so weird. Like, I went to there was a protest one time out here at a high school because they were trying to do the vax mandates and stuff like that,
Mhm.
and so parents were out there protesting, and there were kids that were like mad at the protesters, and I'm thinking to myself, so like, so you're defending the school, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
when I was a kid, like, that'd be like you defending the teacher, like, hey, the teacher said, the teacher said to
Oh, yeah,
stop
like
messing
the
around. It's
the the
like,
loser kid, like, "Hey,
who does that?
everybody be quiet. Listen to the
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And
teacher."
it's like, how are you gonna get mad at that? How are you gonna be sitting over here telling, the teacher that's rebelling against the authority? Like, I felt like in high school, junior high, we were all rebelling against authority.
Mhm.
And now you're over here like defending the authority.
Yeah, it's
It's
weird. It is
revenge of
so
the
weird.
nerds. I'm
Yeah.
telling you.
Well, they had, here they have, the state's taking over our big school district because they're terrible, they fail at everything, kids can't read, can't pass no tests, whatever,
Really?
and so there was a meeting in Austin. I don't know if it was a couple of days ago, 2 days ago. I don't know. My days are all blurred. I don't even remember when it was. But there was a couple of teachers there, and then they brought some students from one of the high schools around the corner. And I'm like, the kids don't even know. Like, you got kids on their spring break going up to the state, like, education, like, to protest. Protest what? You're not gonna win. It's already done. Like, what are y'all doing? You just brainwash these kids to be like, "Hey, like, we need some kids' faces." And who paid for the bus ride, first of all? Who paid for y'all to even go over there? Where are y'all staying? Who's paying for this? Um, but like I said, like, the kids are sticking up for the school. I'm like, what is the school actually giving you besides a diploma that anyone can get nowadays?
I'm stuck on the fact that they were like, I would have been like, man, that's the teacher I want. The teacher that is battling with the administration. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but to think that there was actually kids that were like mad at you, that's crazy to me. Like,
Well, not too many. I had a lot of them actually, even recently, like last week when I told them I wasn't coming back, they found me on Instagram and was like, one of them said, "You opened up my eyes to," because I knew he believed in that agenda,
mhm.
all that nonsense. But, I never force anything. I always show the opposite side and why I think that way. And so, He was like, "You opened my eyes to a lot. Like I changed my mind about a lot of things." I'm like, "Yeah, because y'all are on TikTok all day, you or whatever, and you only seeing like the algorithm's only going to show you one thing."
Yeah,
And
that's
people
crazy.
are too scared to, especially teachers, like too scared to talk about what they believe in. But at some point, you got to speak up. Like, we're done with this.
Yeah, it's especially as a teacher. You know what I mean? Like this
Mhm.
is like it's getting ridiculous. You can't all be thinking the same way. But I mean,
Yeah,
they come from the same institutions. And I
yeah.
would say like that's you know. So I seen Angel Wings. What grade did you teach?
High school. I 10, 11, 12, all three. Because I had
Oh,
a photography class this last past school year, so it was all three grade levels.
oh, okay. Three in high school. I thought it
Mhm.
was four.
No, they have a separate campus for, well, actually, our school had a separate campus for 10th grade. So they would walk over. So we just had 11th and 12th, but the 10th graders walk over. And the
Oh,
ninth grade, I don't know where the ninth graders are.
yeah. There's just it's just a lot of weird stuff that's going on in the school now. That's why
Mhm.
it's like, you kind of get leery. Like even when I saw the teacher striking, I'm like, yeah, but what are we striking over? I really didn't even know that until you said it right now that it was more
Yeah,
about the
the pay. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, they said they were battling because they couldn't negotiate between the teachers union and like the superintendent, the district. They wanted a 30% raise and the district gave them a 23% raise.
Hmm.
And I guess they were asking for too much. They're like, "You're already poor. What do you need anything else for?" Like, I don't want to give them any more money. Meanwhile, the superintendent on the interview, he's all suit, jewelry, looking hair done, everything. And I'm like, "Sir, you're literally making probably like $500,000.
Yeah.
These people are struggling to eat food."
Well, I know that they were really pushing for the remote learning. They did
Hmm.
that for a long time out here. They did the masking for a long time out here. They
Yeah.
were pushing for the vax stuff. That was I forget her name, the head of the teachers union, but she's like a super Black Lives Matter. Like, what's her name? Celia something. I
Hmm.
don't remember it off the top of my head, but she was like, she's super Black Lives Matter. Matter of fact, I think if I might be mistaken, but I think she might even be a organizer in one of the chapters out here.
Mm.
So, and that's those are the people that are in running the whole teachers union out here, which
That's
is ridiculous.
terrible. Yeah,
Yeah.
they have these kids thinking that they're victims of everything. I'm like, you're not a victim. Stop going around with that mindset. When you go around and you tell them, "Oh, you're never going to grow up because somebody's out to get you." And it's like, maybe, but that's life. Everybody's not going to like you. So learn how to live with it. Am I by myself? Am I going live by myself? Am I talking to myself? I don't see your camera. But anyways, like I was saying, so am I I don't see Shay in the chat anymore. Oh, oh no. Maybe he's not there. But anyways, like I was saying, they're brainwashing these children. I don't know what happened to your audio.
Yeah, that was
I'm just
weird. That was
I'm
just
just talking
crazy.
to
It
I
just
was like,
kicked.
am I by
Hey,
myself?
no,
Talking to myself.
that was crazy. It just kicked me out for no reason.
Oh no. But yeah, so I was saying that they're brainwashing these kids to feel like they're victims and they're not.
No.
If you who that's the whole that's where my issue is with the CRT, but that's also what they don't tell people about the CRT thing is that within that curriculum there is queer theory, gender, this and
Yeah.
that. Like
Hmm.
that's the part they don't talk about. So they'll just be like Republicans are racist. It's like, no, you don't want to tell them everything that curriculum involves. And if parents find out what they're teaching, they probably don't want their kids learning about that. So,
It's never what they say.
oh
Like, you know what
yeah,
I mean? They're like, oh, DeSantis wants to take away Black history, and it's like, but in that, for one, it was like an AP course, so
yeah,
it wasn't all Black history,
yeah.
and two, within that course, they were talking about queer theory or some type of queer. I don't know what it was, but it was
Mhm.
gay.
Oh, this
Bottom
light.
line,
I'm gonna complain. I'm gonna complain to these people. But like, people need light, and I don't know how to turn that timer off. Okay.
it's the queer theories.
Yeah.
That's the part that people have an issue with. They don't want to
Yeah.
see that. That's what's crazy to me.
Yeah.
Do you really think in 2023 that there's a governor in the state of a state that belongs to the United States of America that doesn't want you learning about Black history? Come
No.
on, man. How much sense does that make?
Yeah.
It,
It's so ridiculous. Every time I get on, I'm like, oh, here they go again, chopping it up, only giving you a little piece of it, not telling you the whole thing. And that's why I was so frustrated. I taught journalism because I'm like, y'all, look at this. Look at this. They're not telling you the whole thing. Don't
they just
believe the
say it
lies.
over and over and over again. Like we
Yeah.
were talking about yesterday, they're relentless. They don't stop. They know it's not true. Like the what the don't say gay bill in
Oh
Florida.
my gosh. Yes.
It just wasn't true, but they just don't stop.
I
They're relentless.
Yeah, you hear the same thing, the January 6th thing, the Charlottesville thing,
Yeah.
all this stuff that happened in during from 2016 to 2020 was just repeated over and over and over again. And I remember I was going in on my coworkers because I was the only one who was like Trump 2020. I was the only one doing that. And so I was like the most hated. Oh my gosh, it was not good. But I had some that would tell me, well, he said this. And I'm like, no, he didn't. And then I send the full clip. And I remember sending an email to one of my coworkers, like, oh, I can't believe you support that. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, watch the whole thing. Then get back to me. Then you can comment.
And what they say.
Oh, yeah. He was like, oh, I didn't know. It was the Charlottesville thing when he said, "Oh, there's very fine people on both sides," or something like very fine people or whatever. And I'm like, oh, he didn't denounce the KKK. I said, there's literally a whole montage. Like I can just get on Google right now and like type it in and then on YouTube and then like show you a compilation of over the years. Like,
So were you always like on this side of the political spectrum, or were you or
no, I voted for
okay?
Barack Obama. Ugh. Um, no, I grew up with the mindset of Black Hispanic means Democrat and
Hmm.
poor, and they want to help poor people. That's
Right, that's what everybody thought.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I thought. And then I feel like it kind of changed in 2012 when I think it was like the gay marriage thing happened and all this stuff started happening that I'm like, what is going on with this presidency? Like, what is the Democratic agenda? Like, what's happening with them? And so just from there, I was like, yeah, let me look into this stuff a little bit more. And, as I don't like to say the word older, as the days go on, your mindset changes on a lot of things, especially when you're more of an adult, you're mature, like if I want to have a sustainable life, I can't have these ideologies, or this ideology because then I
Can't
won't
just do whatever
progress.
you want.
Yeah, you can't just do whatever, you realize that, partnerships are beneficial, that
Hmm.
like being in your children's lives, all those type of things like that helps people do good in life. So, I was just like, yeah, I'm not subscribing to this nonsense over here.
Yeah, it's crazy because when you brought up the Charlottesville and like you sent it to a coworker, like that to me, that's what kind of like changed my thinking because
Hmm.
I started to think, well, if they lied about that, what else are they lying about?
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And it's like I've shown it to people and been like, well, he didn't say that. He said this, and it's almost like, well, that's just one thing. And I'm almost like, yeah, but aren't you a little bit like curious as to
Yeah.
why they did that? Like,
Hmm.
there's not a part of you that goes, well, why would they just blatantly leave out
Hmm.
that a whole line that debunks your whole narrative?
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And so to me, that's what kind of got the ball rolling for myself to be like, I don't know, man, there's something's not right here.
Yeah.
I mean, I was always against authority. Like I didn't, but I just thought like that the left was against authority too,
Hmm.
and now the left is authority.
They're so for the rules.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But I want to move on to this other story, especially because it's really big in as far as now the whole trans thing, and like you talked about the they thems and all that type of stuff. But one of the first was the reality TV star Jazz Jennings,
Hmm.
and she said some pretty interesting things on one of her recent episodes, and it kind of just brings up the whole mental health aspect
Hmm.
of this. So I'm gonna play this clip and then we'll talk about it.
Hmm.
Are you feeling like you wanted to start talking about? Are you okay?
I'm okay.
I'm not going to cry. But
You know I can't get out of my head.
I know. No, listen. I
It
know.
just doesn't stop.
It's okay. Give me a hug. It's okay. I know what you're going through. We've been there before.
No, it still doesn't stop now,
I
and
know.
I'm already going
Well, the
back to
more you-
negative.
But the more you're talking about yourself, it gets harder. You're digging in, and it's making you put a magnifying glass on what's already difficult as it is. So this is hard for you. I know, and we don't want to push
And
you
I know
anymore.
I'm the one doing it. Like,
I know you're your own worst enemy.
I feel kind of all over the place and like my mind is very cluttered and not clear. And I really want to have that clarity. I really want to understand myself and be able to read my own soul and what I want. And it's just very challenging. And I think I'm kind of breaking down a little bit and spiraling into negativity.
I just want to feel like myself. Like, that's
Right.
it. I don't
Like the
care.
old Jazz?
All I want is to be happy and feel like me, and I don't feel like
What
me
is me?
ever.
All of those surgeries, all of those hormones, and he never feels like himself.
Yeah, I watched that, and a couple other parts of that. But when you have convinced your 5-year-old son that
Mm,
he's a girl, of course, at that age, they're gonna think whatever mommy and daddy say, like that's true. And this lady, like just from that clip alone, like she just looks so manipulative. Like, oh, I know what you're going through. No, you don't.
of
No,
course
you
not,
don't. What
because
do
you
you mean?
didn't mutilate yourself.
I'm like, you've gotten how old is Jazz?
I
I think
think he's
probably
like
over 18.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, so you've chopped off the penis, you've given breast implants. Now in his head, he's like, and it's hard to say like he and she because clearly looks like a girl. Sounds
For real.
sounds like it. Like if you didn't know, like sounds like
Yeah.
a girl. But that's because they got him when he was young. Like now, like if you wanted to be a woman, your voice wouldn't sound like you could tell. But with Jazz, it sounds like a girl, but you
Hmm.
don't change your brain. Like you get hormones and whatnot, but you're not really changing like the entire being of that person. You're not changing like the DNA. So that like, am I
Yeah.
a boy? I don't know what she thinks about.
Well, you know what's great? Like, think about like how you're saying right there. There's a show that comes on TLC as well. I think it's TLC. It's 90 Day Fiance,
Mhm.
and so we always be watching it. So just
Y'all be acting like y'all don't like our shows. When the woman has a show,
anyway,
y'all be like,
anyway. But you know what happened? Let me just throw this out there. So uh, I used to watch pre-COVID. I had the cable, um, and then we moved, so we have like Hulu now. But we used to have the cable company that we had Spectrum, so we used to get every Laker game.
mhm,
So I used to watch every Laker game, every sports that came on, right? And then COVID happened, sports shut down,
mhm.
right? So my wife took over the TV, and so
Well,
we
and what were
started
you left with?
90 Day Fiance,
The good
Married at
shows.
First Sight,
Yeah, the good shows. Yeah.
yeah, all that stuff. So now it's like so, but then I got stuck on it. But anyways, on 90, the current season of 90 Day Fiance, there's a trans now, and that show has become so like all these shows have been like, I think the first episode season I watched it was like one gay couple. Now there's like half of them or a trans couple or whatever. And so like there's one that's trans on there. It's a woman transitioned to a man.
Mhm.
And so when you look at like
I'm like, let me look at this. Look at this. I'm gonna Google it. What season is it?
it's the most recent
Season.
one.
Season. Oh my gosh, I'm so sick of this light. Sorry. Oh my gosh. Okay,
I think the guy's name is Gabe or something like that.
let's see. But it's a girl, or
It's a woman transitioned to a man, and when you watch him talk, like
wait, what?
you can see. Did you find it?
Yeah.
It looks like a dude, huh?
Yeah. What the heck?
But look, when you watch him talk, you could see the femininity in him. You know what I mean? Like the
This does
facial
not look like.
expressions.
This doesn't look like a woman.
It is. It really is. And
What? Well, I mean, this this is not. This doesn't look like a.
yeah, that's it. That's it.
That's crazy.
That's it. I don't know what it is. Like it's weird because it's a woman, but it really it looks like a man. But like I said, when you get to watching him speak and his mannerisms,
Okay, I'm looking at the
it's
body. Yeah, maybe.
it's well, he's like 5'1".
Yeah, I was like, yeah, the body. Never mind. Yeah, that looks like a woman.
Yeah, and there's certain things you just can't fake. It's like the eyes. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like you look in the eyes and you're like, nah, you're a
What would you
girl.
do though? What would you do? Because I've asked people that. What would you do if like you really fell for someone who looks completely on the outside like that, and then you find out that they're not?
I don't. Well, I think there's a lot of things that go like how do you get to that point without finding that out or knowing it?
um, online dating, online stuff
Then if you're
first.
doing online stuff like that, yeah, I think
Yeah.
you need to before you get to the point where your emotions get that invested.
Yeah.
You need to really be serious. And then if that's the case, um, you know, it's like the show Catfish. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you can you know, once you've lied and you've lied or you kept something, you know, you kept something from you. Julia
Yeah.
says you can't change them has some foot stuff. No.
Yeah, you can't get hand surgery to palm a basketball there.
He got some little dainty hands.
Oh yeah, but she 5'1" or whatever.
I mean, there's 5'1" guys, but you
Well,
know.
yeah, true. Mexicans, very small people. They are like you when you go to the club, they're like very small and they get through people and they're cleaning up and stuff. Like I wonder like why I'm not that little. Well, I mean my dad's tall, but my mom is actually very short. She's like 4'11", so I wonder why
4'11",
they're
see.
a small people.
I think it had. I mean, it's more so because I'm not short. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And it's like
I think it's like real Mexico though. Like real Mexico.
it's like deep in there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, deep in there. But yeah, you can't change that. Maybe oh maybe he is Mexican. I don't know, or she. I don't know what it is.
It's
But
really
you know,
not
but
that,
you know what's crazy? So let me show this real quick. We were just talking about the mom, right?
Uh-huh.
So there's this other clip of the mom. Now watch, just you know where this is coming from.
Oh, I think I know where you're about to play.
Yeah, watch it.
I'm worried about like her mental well-being and her dilation. The minute she leaves my house, we have a dilation problem.
That is a concern. When you don't have that watchful eye, they tend to go back to old patterns.
I have woken Jazz out of a dead sleep and taken the dilator and put the lubrication on it and said, here, you take this and you put it in your vagina. If not, I will. But Jazz is bad, even when I'm home once a day. I would be so mad if she goes away to college and that thing seals up. I will wring her neck. Can you imagine?
First of all, my mom would never talk to me about any of that stuff. That's disgusting. What? I can't even watch
I'm
certain
not going to even
movies
ask
around my
questions.
parents.
Yeah, I'm not going to even ask questions of what she's really talking about. I don't know. Don't
But
care.
why would you be mad at that?
It just you know what? it is what it is. These parents, this is what they want.
Do you think it's like they really try to have something to really identify with, or like it makes them like special to have a kid like that? Like it's
Yeah,
like their identity.
yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, it brings attention.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It makes you different. It makes you stand out. And this is, I think this was the last episode I said this in, and I've had some people, because I posted something on Instagram talking about this, and some people got mad at me. They didn't watch the whole video, obviously, because people always do that. They like to comment on your stuff without
Mhm.
actually watching what you said or
Mhm.
listening to everything that you said. But I
Mhm.
really feel like this. I really feel like when you look at the whole paradigm of oppressed and oppressor, and this was comes from the whole CRT thing, right?
Mhm.
The oppressed and oppressor. If you are straight and you're white and you're quote unquote cis,
Oh,
you are
that's
you are the oppressor.
mhm.
So the fastest way and the easiest way to jump the line and go from oppressor to oppressed as a white person is to claim that you're trans.
Mhm.
Nobody can dispute it. Nobody can argue with that. It immediately takes you away from oppressor all the way to the highest level of oppression, which is now the trans people.
Mhm.
Trans people are more oppressed than anybody, according to the identity politics power structure. So if you're a straight white male, all you have to do, like Dylan Mulvaney, is
Um,
say, I am a woman, and now you're oppressed, and now you get sympathy, now you get deals, contracts, now you
yeah.
get endorsements. Now you are now heralded within society as being an oppressed member of society. And so I really feel like that's what's going on here, is that you see a lot of these, either parents are doing it to their kids, it gets them more likes, it gets them more followers, it gets them more notoriety, because now they no longer identify with the oppressor, they are the oppressed. It's that simple. That's why, I mean, I don't know. A lot of people get mad when you say it, but I just see that's just how I see it.
I mean, that sounds about right. I mean, but who's sitting around being like, yeah, I don't even say privilege because I just don't think anyone's better than me. Like, I just don't think like, oh, you're going to get this privilege because you're white. Like, I don't think like that. It's not you can have competition, but I don't see it as like bad. I don't know.
No, because I mean that's how you should think. Like, you should think. I mean, not to sound arrogant or anything like that, but look, I feel like I get I got this microphone in front of me, right? And obviously I'm putting my thoughts out there to the world.
Mhm.
I don't think less of my thoughts. I don't think less of my brain. I think that what I have to say is, I think it's on par with the best or amongst the best.
Mhm.
I'm just being honest. Like, I'm not going to sit here. Like I said, I'm not trying to sound arrogant, but I think that my mind and my thinking process is phenomenal. So, what I mean. I mean, I'm not, like I said, I'm not trying to sound no type of way, but I'm just being honest. Like, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to people and having
Mhm.
conversations with people, and I wouldn't be talking to people that I felt were dumb. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So obviously I feel the same way about you for being on the podcast with me. I feel like you got something to offer. If I didn't, we wouldn't be sitting here having this conversation.
Mhm.
Right? So I don't look at it. It don't matter what background you come from, your skin color, your race, your identity, gender, whatever. I feel like I don't it that doesn't matter to me. You know what I mean? I don't be like, well, that person is this, they come from this, they do that. So what?
Yeah.
I mean, like, that's how I think. That's just how I think about myself. And I'm not trying to, like I said, I'm not trying to sound like cocky or arrogant or conceited or anything like that. But I just have that type of, like, I put in the work. I try to be humble enough to where I can learn. If I'm wrong, I change my opinions to be right. It's really
Mhm.
that simple, and I stand on the truth. So I'm not sitting here. I don't feel like we should be playing that game to where I look at somebody and be like, well, they're white and they went to Harvard, or they're Asian and they went to Harvard, and therefore they're more intelligent than I am.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
Nope.
Yeah. So I ain't trying to come off in the type of way, but I'm just saying, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. You know what? I don't know if it times out. Okay.
Thought we went all the way dark here. The No Spoon Podcast
Oh,
after dark.
Yeah, they do. Like everything is closed at 10 though. They do
Okay,
close all this stuff up.
Yeah, I mean, that's my rant, I guess. On it. I don't see that privilege stuff. I don't care.
No. Just
You
work
know?
harder or stop making excuses. It's that simple.
Yeah, for real. But I think people are trying to be on that. They want to be on that victim train.
Nobody cares at the end of the day what you're going through. So just get over it.
Yeah, for real. Well, I really appreciate you coming on.
Of course.
I think this was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Tell people where they can reach you at, and where they can follow you, where they can go see the Side Effect podcast. Go and check that out.
Okay, well, is this screen that I'm looking at what they're looking at on YouTube?
Yeah.
Okay, so then Twitter, my Twitter handle's right there. I put Instagram too, but Instagram shadow banned me, so I really stopped posting there like that. But it is Jalisa_Danielle. And then my podcast is on Apple and Spotify. I also have a YouTube channel. I think if you just type my name, it'll come up. I'm posting videos on there, but I'm not like promoting them. So I need to like really do. It's just a lot of work. So content creators, shout out to y'all. People who watch people who are creating content know that it's not that easy just to start talking online and then poof, videos are here. Like it takes a lot of work. So that's why the Cash Apps be there. Don't nobody be ashamed of asking for tips, because this takes a lot of work. It's like a whole job for real to do this. It's hours of work.
Yeah.
So
well, I guess you can't see it on your end, but I got your
oh, I do see it. That's why
scrolling at the bottom, you can see the Cash App there. So if you want to, hey, look, I feel like, man, there is a network of content creators that are not with the big channels. They're not with the big networks. They're not on the big YouTube channels. They don't have hundreds of thousands of subscribers, but we out here working, and we out here bringing equal, if not better than content.
Way
you know
better.
What I mean?
Way better.
Yeah. Angel Wings wants to know what's your podcast. This is go ahead. So,
what is it about, or what is it, or what's it called?
No, what is it? I guess what's it called? Side Effect.
Yes, the Side Effect podcast right here. So I called it that because there's a side effect to not taking the red pill. The truth. The truth. And, they're all about prescriptions and popping pills in this country. So why not?
Yeah, I feel it. Rigor mortis. That's what happens. Yeah. You set in and you die.
Yep.
But yeah, I appreciate you coming on. This was dope. We got to do it again.
Mm-hmm.
And, man, this was cool. So stick around for a second. I'm going to close out, and then I'm going to get to you. But everybody, that was Jalisa Danielle. Thank you, Jalisa, for coming on. Thank you, everybody that came on and that supported today. Again, like she was saying, this isn't easy. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things that go into doing this. So we do ask for your support. And even if that support is just subscribing to channels, liking videos, you know what I mean? Not that one. Liking videos, sharing it with as many people as possible. That's how we get through. That's how we break the algorithm down, is that we share with as many people. So if you have not subscribed to this channel, please go ahead and do so now. Check out Jalisa Danielle. Hear it, like it, comment on it. If you're listening to it on Apple or Spotify, leave a review, give a 5-star rating. Until then, my name is Shay. This is the No Spoon Podcast, where we talk about culture, politics, and common sense. Thank you.